And I would say that the Labour Party is certainly in a state of readiness, but you will certainly see increased activism in the upcoming weeks and months. Immediately after Carnival, we'll be ramping up our campaign. In fact, I'll go as far as stating that yes, or to reconfirm that yes, we have ordered the ballot papers. The whole idea is to have the electoral machinery fully in place by September. And similarly, we are ramping up our campaign as we ready ourselves for the upcoming polls. We've gone as far as putting our T-shirts and paraphernalia into production. So we ain't wasting any time. I mean, for some reason, our political opponents were trying to second guess us. Apparently, they felt that the elections were coming in March, April of this year. But some very simple checks, they could have confirmed that that was not the case. As I said before, if they had simply, let's say, checked with the Electoral Commission or their member in the Electoral Commission and to ask whether or not instructions have been given to purchase the ballot papers, which ordinarily will take about 60 days, then they would have known that no preparations are made to hold early polls. But as I said before, we are months away, and I have signaled to my candidates to be ready. As I said to them, it ain't going on to the wire. So that as far as I'll go. And those who are not prepared, obviously, will be left behind. And I don't want to hear anything from our opponents after we defeat them this time around. It's not fair. And we need to have a fixed election date. We're literally months away now. So for them to say that we call elections a few months too early, I don't know that that would be an acceptable excuse. The reality is, as an opposition party, you must always be in a state of readiness. But the reality is, even if we give them until next year, July, a year from now, after the elections, they will still not be ready because they do not have the type of, or let's say the quality of candidates that will create the type of confidence and trust among the electorate. So, time is not an issue for them. The issue for them is to get really good quality people of integrity who can represent the country and who can take the country to the next level. And that is exactly lacking from the leadership, starting from higher level, right down to perhaps the least significant candidate.
I'm not going to try and peep your hands, but I noticed you said the opposition, they have been second guessing. I noticed that some pollsters as well, they have been second guessing because I heard Peter Wickham, or I read Peter Wickham said that he's looking at, and I think he gave November, December. I don't want to try and peep your hand or to try and to force you, but how does that look to you?
Any guess from now could be relatively accurate. Let me put it that way, because it's not a lot of time. If you're 2 years out, then perhaps the guesses would be totally inaccurate. But a few months, how inaccurate can you be? So I don't know that I can necessarily say that it's not true or that it's unlikely.
That's a very nice way of answering, sir.